Today's objective is ratios and rates. A ratio is a written comparison of two things. For example, 10 kids to 3 pizzas, 5 hits to 6 at-bats, 30 miles to 1 gallon, 12 months to 1 year. It's just a comparison of two things. Ratios can be written 3 different ways. Like we had up above, 10 kids with the word 2 in the middle, 2 3 pizzas. This one has a colon in the middle, but it's still read the same, 10 kids to 3 pizzas. And this one looks like it's written as a fraction, 10 kids to 3 pizzas. Okay, but this isn't 10 over 3. We read them all with the word 2 in the middle of the things. Okay, so we could rewrite these. We could say that this is the same as 10 kids to 3 pizzas here, just like I did below, or 10 kids to 3 pizzas. You could say 6 hits, I'm sorry, what did I do that for? Now I made a mess. You could say 5 kids to 6 at-bats. I'm going to come over here, write it as the fraction style, 5 kids to 6 at-bats. 30 miles to 1 gallon as the fraction style, or 12 months to 1 year. You could write that as a fraction style. Okay. Notice that all of the above examples are in the reduced or simplest form. So I didn't have 20 kids to 6 pizzas. I cut that in half, so it would be like 10 kids to 3 pizzas. So once again, we are always simplifying when possible. All right, so like I could have 60 miles to 2 gallons. Well, I could reduce that. So we always try to reduce our ratios, like we reduce everything. All right, ratios can compare the same type of thing or different things. For example, I could say 5 boys to 6 girls, like if I was talking about 11 kids in my class. But these are both human, so they are the same thing. All right? Like if I compared, I have 3 dogs and 2 cats, I could say 3 dogs to 2 cats, but they're all pets, or they're all animals, so they're comparing the same thing. As opposed to 15 miles to 4 minutes. Okay, miles and minutes, we can never say that they're the same thing. One's a distance and the other's a time. So they are totally different types of things, okay? So we can have the ratios that compare the same things or ratios that compare different things. Ratios that compare different things are a special kind of ratio, and we call them rates. And you can think about that, it's kind of like your speed or something, or, you know, what is your miles per hour? What's your rate of speed? What's your, how many words can you type? 30 words in 1 minute. What's your typing rate of typing, or something like that? Okay, you've probably heard that before. For example, 5 miles in 6 minutes. I'm having problems with those two numbers today, aren't I? 3 books per 1 student. Sometimes the fraction bar is said as the word per also, but it still is the rate. 4 dogs to 3 people, or 4 dogs for 3 people, or 4 dogs to 3 people, per 3 people. Okay? And here's another thing I want you to write down. Rates that have 1 unit in the denominator are called unit rates, because 1 unit usually refers to just one thing. Okay? So this is not a unit rate because it's per 6 minutes, but this is a unit rate because it's per 1 student. Would this be a unit rate? No, because it's not 1 in the denominator. But you could find the unit rates by dividing, okay? So if I said 15 miles to 4 minutes, like I had up here, I could divide by 4, and I would get 3¼ miles in 1 minute. I could say $66 for 12 dinners, but if I divide by 12, I get $5.50 per dinner, or $5.50 to 1 dinner. Okay, but notice here I wrote the 1 minute in. Usually, if it's only for one item, we just write the word dinner. Just like for variables, if it's 1x, we just write the x. We don't write a 1x. Everything relates in math. So, here's the one I simplified. $6 for 2 ice cream cones. If we were going to simplify that, we would say $3 per ice cream cone. This is simplifying and it's getting a unit rate. 48 miles for 8 gallons. Simplify that, 6 miles per gallon. That's if you're driving a Hummer. Hopefully nobody's getting that bad of gas mileage, right? Sometimes when you're doing your unit rates, you will have it as a decimal, okay? But if you're just simplifying, you wouldn't, like when we had the 10 kids to 3 pizzas, unless I say a unit rate, you won't have a decimal, you'll just reduce it. That's it.